After maxing in the most difficult game mode Old School has to offer, I set out to achieve the best gear and push my account to the absolute limits. This is my endgame Ultimate Iron Man. In the previous episode, we got our first ever Synapse drop, which we made into the Emberlight. Then we used that to complete some combat tasks, and finally we went to TOA and finished our second set of storable Masori in the costume room. And that brings us up to now. Deep within the heart of the Chasm of Fire stands Yama, a towering demon newly unleashed on Tizea. He's powerful and unlike anything an Ultimate has faced before. However, with that danger comes a reward. Yama holds one of the most sought-after treasures in the game, the strongest slash equipment ever to be released, the Oathplate armor. But do we have what it takes to sign the contract? What's going on, everyone? It's Chads here again with another video. In this video, I'm sure you're already aware, we are going to be taking on the new boss Yama in hopes of getting the Oathplate armor. For my gear, I just went with the best melee setup because I'm going to be camping the Emberlight the whole time. I brought the Noxus Halberd for the final phase. I think most people bring a mage swap for this boss. However, I just brought my Sang Staff to kill the judge. Fortunately, I'm lucky enough that one of my friends that I'll be going with during this grind handles pretty much all of the magic responsibilities throughout the fight. The fight is very unique. As you can see, there are two different types of glyphs scattered around the arena. The two furthest north, or closest to Yama's throne, will correlate to the first special Yama uses. As you can see here, the shadow glyphs are the ones closest to the throne, and that correlates to the special attack that he used. After a few attacks, Yama will yell something in Latin and do an animation. The glyphs can then be activated to negate all the damage of that type. The dark blue will block the shadow attacks, and the red will block the fire attacks. Sometimes Yama will spawn these little orb guys. We call them jellies. They will also be color coordinated. You can choose to kill these, or if timed correctly, you can dodge all the damage from these if the glyphs are activated at the right time. After Yama's HP reaches 66%, he will send you into the other portion of the arena, where you must hop across the rocks whilst dodging moving flames. Once you reach the end of the rocks, you'll be met with the Judge of Yama. You'll have to kill the Judge of Yama before you're allowed to go back to the main arena. Hit him with the opposite of what he's praying to deal damage, and each hit, he'll swap prayers. Keep repeating this until you're sent back to the main boss arena. Now, after you get sent back, you're in Phase 2. Phase 2 works basically the same as Phase 1, but the fire and shadow specials are a little different and a little more dangerous. However, as long as you're stepping on the glyphs and correctly timing them, you can avoid all damage from the specials. I also wanted to mention that each time you go through the portal and get sent back to the main arena, Yama will pick one person to be the tank, and if the tank's using magic versus melee, Yama will actually have higher defense stats, so it's preferred that most people use melee here, as it'll make the kills go a little bit quicker. Once again, when Yama reaches 33%, you will be sent back into the Rock Fire Maze. In addition to getting some free agility XP, you can also use this opportunity to drink some pots or heal up if you need to. And one more thing on this portion of the fight, when I get sent in, I immediately cast the Death Charge spell so that I'm constantly recharging my special attack energy. And once again, after you kill the judge, you are sent back into the boss arena for the final phase. During this phase, Yama no longer has glyphs to help protect you. Yama is now stationary in the middle of the arena. He will constantly spawn shadow walls and falling fire bombs that must be dodged, which makes this portion of the fight a little hectic. A lot of players, when learning, find that magic is much easier in the final phase to learn than melee. Melee is challenging because, in addition to needing to dodge all the things I mentioned before, you'll also spawn those healing orb jellies if Yama is allowed to melee you. This is where the fly methods come in. These patterns, when timed correctly, allow you to melee the entire final phase without getting hit by any AoE damage or melee attacks. In most setups, the Emberlight will out DPS magic, which is why melee on the final phase is so effective. However, I'm just using the Noxus Halberd in the final phase. It's not as good as the Emberlight, but I want to get a little more experience before I start doing the flies. Oh, that's a garbage drop. Nice. And that is our first unique coming in at 21 KC, the Barrel of Demonic Tallow. The Demonic Tallow is the secondary ingredient that is combined with the Torstal Potion to create the new Surge Potions. I am not 100% sure if I'm going to be hanging on to these, but I think for now, I will probably just be dropping them off to the main.
Drop.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh.
Let's see what we got. Okay, I got a dragon plate skirt. I just want to quickly go over the Forgotten Lockbox. You can open these to find a handful of different items. If you're really lucky, you can get the Oathplate armor, but usually it's just going to be some alchables or the Oathplate shards. If you're enjoying the video so far, I would really appreciate a like and a subscription. I'm trying to reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Nice. Oh, new PB. Rune chain. I kind of fucked up there at the end. Ooh.
Let's go.
Throughout this grind, we will be getting a lot of Oathplate shards. I want to quickly mention how those work. The Oathplate shards are Yama's form of dry protection. The shards are a fairly common drop from the boss and a lockbox as shown before. After collecting 450 Oathplate shards, you can forge these into any piece of armor that you like. If you go about on rate for 2 out of 3 armor pieces, then you should have around 450 shards, which is just enough to build the third piece of armor that you're missing. I really like this unique way to combat dry protection. It doesn't really seem too forced, and it ties in skilling a bit to making the armor. Ooh.
Whoa.
Sure. Oh, you got it.
Whoa.
Put it on. Damn, and I was excited for the Oathplate shards I got.
That's definitely the best piece for me to get. Yeah, I saw double oath plate and I thought it was double shards at first.
I figured I should probably show what I'm doing after each trip. First, I teleport home with the max cape. Then if I need to bag something, I use the jewelry box to get to the Ferox Enclave. After this, I am teleporting to the Warriors Guild to buy potatoes with cheese, and using my chugging barrel to quickly fill up my inventory with the potions I need. The exact amounts of potions and food may vary a bit, because each trip, I'm still trying to figure out what I need to bring. And finally after that, I teleport back to my house and use the fairy ring to get back to the Chasm of Fire. In this clip, unfortunately my partner died, but we got rewarded with the dossier, new collection log. The dossier is where you get all of the contracts and the new death charge upgrade scroll. The contracts are unique because they alter the fight to make it more difficult. However, there is no RNG on your drop. You simply just get the drop you signed up for. Some of the crazier contracts can reward you with Oathplate shards or even the Oathplate armor itself. I personally will probably not be hanging on to any of these scrolls, but who knows. Now, unfortunately, I had some issues with my recording software and I lost some footage, about 100 KC worth. Fortunately, it didn't miss anything big except the new spell upgrade, but I did manage to get a screenshot of it. Rite of Vile Transference at 55 KC. If you didn't know, this is a one-time consumable scroll that will upgrade the Arceus spell Death Charge. This upgrade will allow Death Charge to proc from 2 monsters instead of 1. And a little pro tip for getting this is to save one of your dossiers that you receive. There's a guaranteed chance after opening one past 100 KC that you will get the scroll no matter what. So if you're close to 100 KC, save one and you'll get the scroll. I decided to finally save one of those demonic tallow drops and make the surge potions. I figured since I am getting better at this boss and I'm not using as much food, I may as well try out these new potions and see what they can do for me. Each barrel can be opened and it contains 100 demonic tallow inside. These can be combined with a Torstal to create the surge potion. These potions are an untradeable item that will restore the player's special attack by 25%. Now, this might seem crazy, but they have a limit and can only be used once every 5 minutes. The places where I could see these being most useful are probably going to be speedrun tasks. Outside of that, I don't really believe they'll change up the meta too much. And one more thing, since these are untradeable, as UIMs, we will be unable to put them inside of the looting bag. They can, however, go inside the chugging barrel, and thankfully, we can get them noted from Bob Barter at the GE. Okay, unfortunately, I did not have the recorder up for this, but this was the first day after the combat tasks were released, so first kill, Yama Adept, Yama Veteran, and back so soon. Another little tip that I've been using, whenever I get the noted battle staff drop, I'm never going to use these, so I go to the Magic Guild in Yanil, and the NPC that sells the runes also sells battle staffs. You can sell these to him for almost the same as the high alchemy price.
Damn, last hit.
And that is the combat task Firefighter, which is to defeat Yama without getting hit by any of the fire attacks. And also we got the Forgotten Lockbox.
We'll see if I got one of them. I should have, but I got speed trialist. What the? Oh, that's the multiple kills. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah, and that is another combat task, one of these speed tasks. For Yama, they work a little bit differently, kind of similar to Araxor. Most speed tasks in the game are just a single kill at a certain time. However, at Yama, it takes your last 4 kills, so that as long as your average is below the allotted time, you should be good to get the task. Lockbox for the Oath Plate shards. So here's the new tech that we've been doing. Fortunately, my duo received the Soul Flame Horn at some point. So for the beginning of each kill, he is activating the horn to give himself and I 100% accuracy so that our Emberlight specials will always hit. The Emberlight is nice because it not only drains defense, but also drains strength and attack, making our food stretch a bit further. Alright, so there is a combat task called No Topping, No Drinks, Thanks. That is where you have to defeat Yama with only using plain pizza, and you're not allowed to drink any potions. My workaround for this is that I can just go buy the pizzas at the Warriors Guild, and I'm going to be using my Falador shield to restore my prayer. And that's another kill for the triple task completion: no toppings, no drinks, Shadow Dancer, and Contract Choreographer. And here's the 200 KC milestone. Still no drops yet. Oh yeah, and another thing I've been doing with all the alchables, like the dragon equipment or whatever, I've just been teleporting directly to Lumbridge and getting an explorer's ring and using the free high alchemies. I've also just been keeping coins in my inventory because I'm going to the Warriors Guild so often to buy potatoes, and it's just, I don't know, it's a little more convenient, I guess. Double supply drop. Yeah, Yama's got some really good supply drops here. Makes staying here for long amounts of kills pretty good. Dossier. Yeah, so these are just the contracts for the Radiant Armor, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop these. Yeah, so I've been trying out this fly method with these blue tiles that I have marked on the floor. Yeah, it's kind of hard to learn. However, if I've been fucking it up at all, then I've just been swapping the halberd and standing on one of those green tiles. But yeah, I'm still trying to get it down. I haven't quite got the prayers yet. I know the prayers alternate every other attack, but it's kind of just a lot to click on in a short amount of time. I think getting the tiles right are probably more important.
That's it. Oh.
Bruh.
Oh.
Yeah, so I forgot to mention that when you die here, you just get a pile on the ground. I know a lot of other places do like the item retrieval services. I'm actually kind of glad that you just get a pile here because you have to walk past a bunch of dangerous stuff, so I wouldn't want to be risking all that stuff in a death storage. Here's a good example of why you shouldn't go AFK here. And coming in at 254 KC, we get the Oathplate chest. First item that we've seen so far, and that is about on drop rate. The rates according to the wiki are about a 1 in 120 chance of seeing something. However, that's in a solo, so if we double that, that's 1 in 240 and 254. That's about on rate. And the Oathplate chest was probably the best item I could get first. I will be replacing the Bandos chest plate with that, since obviously this is the same strength bonus, but it does have higher slash offense. And even though the Oathplate armor is storable, I don't think I'm ready to drop the Bandos chestplate yet. I guess I'm still kind of holding out hope that maybe someday I'll complete full Torva. Lockbox!
Damn!
Let's see.
Oh
A fit.
shit.
Oh, sheesh.
I should have been ready for that.
So following these tiles in the specific order and timing will allow you to avoid all of the melee damage and the area damage while also maximizing the damage you deal with your Emberlight. Thankfully, people who are much better at this game than me have came up with these strategies. I've lost track of what all the names are. There's Monofly, Donofly.
You might have seen a house fly, maybe even a super fly, but I bet you ain't never seen a donkey fly.
And coming in at 316 KC, that is the Soul Flame Horn. So I kind of briefly touched on this before, but the Soul Flame Horn is a new unique weapon which only serves as a special weapon. When activated, the horn will empower nearby allies and guarantee a 100% accurate melee attack. So this can be used in combination with the defense reduction specials like Elder Maul, Warhammer, and BGS. It's kind of an interesting supportive item. I'm definitely going to be hanging on to it for here. I don't know what else I'll really need it for in the future. Who knows, maybe Raids 4. So here's something that I've been working on here and there in the background. It's mastering mixology again. I've been trying to use up some extra herbs so that I can get the prescription goggles. The goggles have a small chance to save your secondary when making potions. Now, fortunately, they can be stored inside the costume room. The downside is that you also need the rest of the set to go with it. And the only useful part of the set is the headpiece. The rest of the outfit is just cosmetic. I kinda wish they would have spread out the benefit throughout the entire set, so it didn't feel as pointless to complete the set. But, hey, I guess it's a collection log.
Jesse, we have to cook.
And to the costume room until next time. Just kidding. Actually, since I'm already death banked, I decided this would be a good opportunity to use up my Wines of Zamorak that I got from the Theater of Blood in the previous episode. Yeah, we're going to test it out and see how much we actually end up saving. Yeah, I guess I don't know what I expected. It was pretty much spot on with that 10%, but yeah, that's really nice because I kind of hate collecting Wines of Zamorak. Now that all those are used up, we are going to go to the Farming Guild and grab our stuff from Hispori, gear up for some more Yama. Okay, I fucked up again, and I wasn't recording, but this is 321 KC for the helm. So here's the collection log update at the moment. We're actually looking kind of lucky right now. 3 drops in a little over 300 KC. I'll take the spoon. So now I'm left with another decision. Should I wear the helmet, or should I just store it in the costume room for later? I don't exactly have space in the looting bag at the moment, and it's only a marginal increase in damage, so I think at this point I will continue just to use the Torva helmet, and the Oathplate helmet will go into the POH. But hopefully not forever.
No peanut butter.
Had to go with someone else who wasn't my normal duo, and we are blasting through these PBs. And unfortunately, again, I forgot to turn on the recorder, so I do apologize. The video is starting to turn into a slideshow, but here is the dupe helmet at 395 KC. Now, I know in the previous clip I said that we were going to be sticking with the Torva helmet. Well, that was 70 KC ago, and I had some time to reflect on it. I moved some stuff around the looting bag, and made space for the Torva helmet to fit inside. So from now on, we will be rocking the Oathplate helmet, as well as the chest piece. Whenever we do finally finish the Oathplate, we will have a spare helmet in the POH. Also, there is a mechanic where Oathplate pieces can be broken down into shards. Each piece can generate 50 shards, so if we make it to 400 Oathplate shards before receiving the legs, we could just break down the current helmet we're wearing for the last 50 so that we could craft the legs to complete the set. Dossier! Back-to-back Dossier and my duo got it at the exact same time. Kinda crazy. And as per usual, we will be saying goodbye to these contracts.
Let's go, the Chester.
Not my drop, but my duo finally got his first piece of Oathplate. All he had before this was the horn, and I believe he's higher KC.
They're like the crazy like alien creature things that have, oh my god, back to back. Holy fucker. Okay, and unique? What the fucker?
And here I was, excited because I got the Oathplate shards. This guy gets the back-to-back Oathplate. He went from having an absolute garbage log to being above rate. So, huge congrats to him. Now we're at basically the same spot. We both have the helmet and the chest. But yeah, let's keep going. Yama is really giving up the dossiers. I went to go drop these to my main, and we got a little bit of a visual glitch, so I don't know why these contracts are floating on the head. Next kill is dropping some other items, and it did it again. I don't know what's up. Maybe it's a rune light thing. My regulars weren't on, so I decided to go with one of my other ultimate friends that I have added, and let me tell you, ultimates know how to do it right. New PB, 229. Eh, 20k. Or that could have been 450k on my main. Let's see what we get. God damn it. Dropping more stuff to my main. I know I should probably hang on to the teleports, but it's kind of like I'm already going to be waiting for someone anyway, so there's really not much point getting there, you know, like 30 seconds quicker. I will gladly take the shards. We are almost at 500 KC and nearing a little over half the Oathplate shards for the next piece. Glue scroll.
High quality H2O.
Dude, it's so true. I need to hydrate. Oh, is someone maxing? What the? Okay.
Emeralds.
Dossier?
Dossier?
That is my duo partner's second helm, so now both of us are in the exact same spot with the exact same drops. But who will finish the set first? And 1 kill later, I had to check in with the 500 KC milestone. Still nothing new, but we go on. First ultimate ever to actually defeat this boss. For nothing. Damn.
We're out, so I didn't
Ooh.
get to those guys quick enough.
Took a little break to play some LMS, and of course the bots are rampant here, but I did find one little trick to beat them. They will automatically pray against whatever weapon you have out, so if you go up one of these ladders, you could just farcast them, and they're going to be constantly trying to melee you, but they're not actually programmed to go up the ladders, so it's a free kill. Finally decided to go do the clues that I had sitting around. Well, I completed one, and this one was a wilderness step, so we're going to drop that.
Now that's what I call garbage.
So you've heard about synchronized swimming. Well, just you wait. This is synchronized flying. So I got the contract of shard acquisition. However, I decided to drop it to my main. The contract is a guaranteed 50 shards, which would be really nice at this point. However, I am not confident in my ability to do that, and I don't want to waste the contract, so we'll just be dropping that over to our main. That's another kill, and this guy in my clan just maxed. Congrats. That's true. Oh, let's fucking go.
Scooping them up today.
And checking in once again, this is 600 KC for the worms that I will unfortunately never use. I think Jagex saw how successful the Royal Titans were as a duo boss and decided to run it back with Yama. So far, I'm really enjoying the boss design and the mechanics. It's an interactive fight where the decisions you and your partner make will impact each other. I also really enjoy that it forces you to be social. Now me and the boys can take on some Yama together and not be forced to do solo bosses.
Well, there you go.
I guess that's it. And there it is. At 656, we got the final piece of Oathplate. I kind of felt bad. My other duo partner, Mr. Mighton here, he was very similar to KC to me and hadn't received a single piece of any of the Oathplate yet. And since that completes the set for me, I'm probably not going to be killing this anymore. I did, however, at least finish out the trip. It was another 5 kills, and we did not see anything else. So that will most likely be wrapping up our Yama grind indefinitely. I could see myself potentially coming back here if I need to get more surge potions and I need the barrel, but for now, I'm probably going to be done. So now that we're done killing Yama, I'm going to put the collection log up on the screen. Honestly, we got pretty lucky here. Not only in terms of how many drops we got, but only 1 dupe is really not that bad, and I'm very thankful to finish this in the amount of KC that we did. And now for the best part, since we have the full set, we can finally store this in the costume room. But now the only thing is, we've got an extra Oathplate helmet, and we never actually ended up using any of those shards either. But damn, this armor does look pretty sick. And it's crazy that a best in slot like this is just storable. I don't fully understand the philosophy of storable sets, because Torva, for example, is not storable, and that's fine, but then Oathplate, a best in slot, is storable. The same goes for ranged armor. Masori, a best in slot, is storable, but Armadal is not. There just isn't a clear rule for which sets can and cannot go inside the house. I'm not here begging for more things to be storable, I really just want more consistency with it. Anyway, now that I'm done ranting, I'm going to drop this last Oathplate helmet over. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of money. This is still only about a month after release, so prices are kind of high still. Goodbye, spare red helmet. You served me well. And now you're going to serve me some bonds. I decided to go Death Bank so that I could get the extra Oathplate shards out of my bag. Yeah, so since I completed the set, I will not be needing these anymore. I'm going to drop them over to the main, while they're still very expensive. And that also means I will be saying goodbye to the horn. Hey guys, so that is going to wrap up this episode. Once again, if you want more of these videos, drop a like and a subscription. I was super excited to finish the full Oathplate, and this was about a month of gameplay, all condensed into one video. I ran into some technical difficulties while trying to make this video, but I did really enjoy making it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. If you made it all the way to the end, then props to you. Only about 20% of the audience stays for the very end. I read every single comment. Please let me know what you thought. That is going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.